Well, do I have a doozy for you guys. I wanted to make a video today talking about all the crazy good things that AI has been able to do, like helping scientists find cures for diseases, and all of the bad things it's done as well. That video is going to have to be pushed back because something happened. So I was playing a game called Megabonk about 2 weeks ago. And if you don't know what Megabonk is, it's a 3D roguelike where you kind of pick a class. There's all these different characters that do different things, and you're running around this randomly generated map, opening up chests and getting upgrades, making your character stronger, trying to make your damage and your health numbers go up. There's more and more enemies as time goes on, and it just scales infinitely. So it's one of those that's just supposed to inject dopamine, straight into your bones. And it's really fun if you just want to play a game where you don't have to think. And I was playing this game because I didn't want to have to think. I had a long day. I wanted some easy game where I just injected the dopamine straight into my bones and, jumped around, collected the items, made the number go up, do that kind of stuff. And it's fun. It's a fun game, not a sponsor. I was trying to use ChatGPT to pull a build that would work for my situation, right? So I'm playing this character. I'm playing this character in Megabonk. I'm doing this particular challenge. What items, what tomes, what weapons do I need to bring with me to, what's the best build for this character, right? You can't put that kind of stuff into Google. Google will not give you an answer. You need this AI to scan the internet and go, oh, this is all the weapons, and then do all the calculations and be like, this is the optimal build for this particular challenge or whatever. I'm not like one of those, old ladies that uses AI and thinks it's like a person and builds this relationship with AI, which I want to make a video on that at some point in the future as well. People having relationships with their AI, that's a whole nother topic. But I do use AI pretty casually. I have used it as a Google replacement for over a year now because it has conversation history with me. So basically anything I've put in it, it knows things that I like. It knows the types of jobs that I'm looking for, like my most recent video here. Knows the types of jobs I'm looking for. It knows about my passions, my career goals, stuff like that. I don't have a relationship with this AI. Obviously, I don't use it as a companion. I'm not naive enough to think that, but it does have memory of a lot of things about me, so it's very easy to get really catered, specific answers to questions that I have. And that has been awesome. It has been a game changer for me for productivity. It knows about my YouTube channel, knows about my hobbies. If I go, oh, I cooked this thing and it turned out this way, it can spit out a specific thing that I can do different next time. It's awesome and it's helped me a lot. But back to Megabonk. Normally it would be able to pull what I needed no problem. But a couple of weeks ago, instead of giving me that catered answer that it usually would, it started spitting out data for a different video game, not Megabonk. I tried to correct it and I said, no, I'm talking about Megabonk. This is the game. This is what the cover looks like. Give me a build for this specific thing based on this game. ChatGPT literally spit out that it didn't know what Megabonk was. It couldn't access the internet. And it started listing, oh, in a game that works like this, usually there's items like this. And it was just making up. It was just making up stuff. It's usually there's a health item. I would get that. Because it didn't know anything about Megabonk. I looked into it a little bit more, and ChatGPT has cut their free model in half. ChatGPT now has paid tiers. Now I'm going to have more videos coming out in the future about AI, about OpenAI, Sam Altman, all this other stuff, about what I believe is a pretty grim future ahead of us. But OpenAI, the creators of ChatGPT, have plastered all over their website stuff about how AI is going to, revolutionize humanity, and they want to democratize AI so everyone should have access to it. But I have an issue with this. Because what happens when you take AI, which a lot of our top minds, our top scientists say is the most revolutionary thing that humanity has ever created. And you say, we're going to give this to everybody. We're going to give everyone access to this. Everyone's going to have access to this. It's going to help everyone out. But then you cut the free plan down so much that you can only send a couple messages a day. ChatGPT can't access the internet, so it's not getting up-to-date information. But when you cut access to the free tier, you're not really democratizing AI, are you? Because I no longer can ask questions and get catered answers because the AI has this massive history of all this stuff that I've input and things about me and stuff like that. It can't give me that anymore because the free tier doesn't have access to conversation history. It sucks because every single chat with this thing now is a new chat. So if I want to ask it a question about something I've asked in the past before, I have to fill in all this background information to get a catered specific answer where previously I did not have to do that. It can't access the internet to pull relevant, up-to-date information. You can only send a couple chats every few hours. So OpenAI got a lot of people like hooked and kind of reliant on AI for some capacity. And then they chopped it down to a free tier. So now if you want conversation history and you don't want to have to reiterate and regurgitate all this information every single time, you have to pay $20 a month. And $20 a month is not affordable for a lot of people. If you want to be able to ask ChatGPT complex questions and get really detailed, good answers, you have to pay for the business tier, which is $200 a month, which most people by far cannot afford. So what happens when you have AI, which a lot of our top scientists say is the most revolutionary thing that humanity has ever created and is going to change the future, but then you block out 80% of what it can do behind paywalls? You're not democratizing AI. You're giving the richest people seemingly infinite power to have any question they've ever had answered immediately in the most articulate, best way possible. They get the best answers. They can ask anything they want. They can get graphs and everything generated for them. And these people are absolutely firing people in their companies and using this $200 plan to replace people. But simultaneously, regular people cannot afford those plans, so they don't have that same level of power. Yes, they can ask complex questions that Google can't answer, but it is nowhere near on the same level as the business tier. It's completely different. So you're giving even more power to the richest in this country, while everyone else is basically stuck with just a little bit better version of Google. It's like giving Jeff Bezos the Infinity Gauntlet and the other 99% of people in America get a fidget spinner. It doesn't make sense. This is not democratized AI. I am going to be looking into other platforms. I'm going to be trying DeepSeek, which is China's AI. Apparently a lot of people like DeepSeek. This is not democratizing AI. And mark my words, if this does not change, all it's going to do is increase the divide, the already huge divide between the 1% and everyone else in this country. They already had so much power, and now we give them infinite information, infinite ability to solve complex problems at their fingertips. And the regular person is going to go, $200 a month? Yeah, I can't do that because I want to eat. I understand that there's alternatives. I understand that OpenAI offers models that you can run from like a home server, but that still has a high startup cost. Not only do you have to have the technical know-how to set up your own AI from your house, but you also have to have usually expensive hardware to be able to run it, because you're running it from your home and using that hardware instead of using OpenAI servers. So while you can get around these free tier limits in some ways by running an AI from your home server, that has a very high barrier to entry with both technical know-how and money. AI scientists have warned for a couple years that a dystopian future is not just about killer robots. It's about a concentration of power. If only governments and megacorporations get access to the highest level of intelligence humanity has ever created, they can make business decisions better and faster while automating their labor And what do regular people get? Regular people get a chatbot that can't remember your conversation from yesterday. And doing this increases our chance of a dystopian hellscape future. This is not what we want. Everyone should have access to this incredible technology. AI has a massive potential to change humanity for the better, to lift people up, to close inequality gaps, not widen them. But this only happens if everyone has access to the tool. AI should be accessible for regular people. It should be more affordable. It should be powerful in the hands of everyday people and not an exclusive tool for the wealthy elite. Now, I understand that OpenAI has operated at a loss for years. I know that every time you ask a question to ChatGPT, it costs them money and they're not making anything. But you need to figure out a way to monetize this that doesn't give people with money 1,000 times the upper hand. I understand that monetizing it so that everyone can access it has been a problem and a point of contention, but it's something that I think we need to figure out. So that's my rant for this week. AI can be incredible, but if we don't allow most people on Earth access to it, it is only going to make the poor more poor and the rich more rich. For those of you wanting an update on my unemployment, I have applied to over 50 jobs in the last week, and I've heard back from 2 employers. I'm talking with them right now, but not an interview yet. I'm still looking around. I hope to have a new job soon. I hope an opportunity just comes knocking at my doorstep. I'm really open to a lot of things at this point. Also, if you want to support my small indie game company that I'm running with my friends, you can join our Discord. We talk about all things game dev, art. We talk about society. We talk about my rant videos. So feel free to join the Discord. That's the rant for this week. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys next time.